Hello, this is Anime Vision, and welcome to What If Deku, well, not what if, not. This is what if My Hero Academia was in the apocalypse, or My Hero Academia apocalypse, or whatever. Zombie apocalypse. What if Deku was in the zombie apocalypse, I guess. Now, last where we left off, during the last part, Class 1A had escaped the USJ. They had formed a new base in a store near the outskirts of the city. They are currently, and Deku, Uraraka, and Ida are all, on lookout. Now, let's go ahead and get back into the thing. While on the roof, looking around, after talking for a bit, Kaminari, Kaminari, Jiro, and who's another person? The Dupla Arms guy. They were on lookout. Now, so they kind of replaced them. Now, some of you may have had some questions about the last part. Like how I said it was how Deku was that old nerdy one that was always kind of like nervous and everything. Get out of that area! Hold on. My little sister was playing in mud. Okay. Now, I have no idea. I have these good bases of an idea. Then sometimes they change during the thing. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. Whenever you at first you think, oh, yeah, this is like a really good idea. And whenever you're gonna do it, you're like, nope. So, woo. Okay, so in the morning, everyone was kind of tired. Especially the 6 people that were on lookout. This is when Deku kind of called a meeting for everyone. These people were gonna be, he said, here's what everyone's jobs will be. Well, actually, he asked everyone what their skills were, like, if they had any skills that were useful other than their quirks. Everyone kind of went down the list, and Deku was thinking, okay, alright. So, this is really going to be, here is going to be what everyone's here's gonna be the scouts. The main looters. Occasionally other people will come too, but these are gonna be the main people to get the most supplies. 1. The first one is Jiro. 2, it's the Dupla Arms guy. The reason they have been chosen is because they can find the position of the infected easier. Two. With the next few people. there will be Bakugo. Yeah, Bakugo. Todoroki. Then Ida. Sero will... Well, he's mostly going to be doing barricading, but he's also in the scout. After that, Aizawa is also there in the scout. Momo is in charge of making and keeping track of supplies. Deku, he's also going to be a scout, but he's going to be like a general manager. He's going to do a little bit of everything, trying to keep track of everything. Now, he's not particularly strong, because, it's the Deku that never did the 10 months of training. But he's analytical enough to where he can kind of get everyone out of a bad situation. And he's very good at assessing people's skills and skill sets. So, next, the next group is going to pretty much keep track of the functionality of the base, which is going to be Kaminari, Sero, and let's see who else. So Kaminari, Sero. Guess that's really it. Now, pretty much, Deku goes after, uses the rule, she set the rules. You don't work, don't eat. Try and steal, or if you try and steal from the group, okay, what? Where did okay, so it's generally going to be those two that help keep the systems running for now. I think that's where I left off. Nah. Okay, shoot, I kind of... Anyway, skipping past all the assignments. Oh, yeah. Ochako, she's mostly going to focus on helping... Oh, no, what's going on? No, what did I do? What did I do? Okay, there we go. Yeah, Ochako, she's mostly gonna stay in the base. Because she is for, evasion. She is what is basically keeping them alive. If they ever have to make a quick escape, Ochako is going to be one of the most important people for that. So they're trying to make sure that she uses her quirk the least as possible. Now, whenever none of the supplies or the base is upkept, this is when it needs to be kept. This is Deku continues to explain that Momo will teach them how to use guns, since she's the only one that knows how. And if anyone has any martial arts training, teach them that as well. Well, that will be mostly focused on that. Also, Oh, that's a stick.
Oh.
Okay, go back to digging. Go have fun. Oh, I can't. I'm doing something. Okay. What? Next. Oh, well, what? Oh. Okay. He also says that whenever practicing with a quirk, they are not to exhaust themselves completely. If they start feeling a little too much strain, like a little bit of strain, they are to stop. Everyone was like, how are we supposed to get stronger then? No, and why? Deku said, in case if there's an emergency, and you've overused your quirk, there will probably end up in death. And they're all like, okay. Now, this is when Deku said, and we're going to do some scouting. And he pretty much says, Jiro will come with my team. The Duple Arms guy will go with Aizawa's team. Bakugo will also go with Aizawa's team. Todoroki will go with Deku's team. Ida will go with Deku's team. And yeah, wasn't there another person that said on that team? No. So they got some of the weapons. So they got some weapons from Momo, and they began. Oh, and they left. So they also got some backpacks from her. This is when they started looting for. They went to the nearby gas stations, and yes, they did have to kill a few. I'm just gonna call them walkers. Yeah, they have to kill a few walkers, but no one with a mutation quirk, so they were fine. Aizawa was like, no, their teams went into separate gas stations, and there was like 4 of them nearby. So they split them up. And if either one of any of them had any semis at them, they were to, they have walkie-talkies too. They were to use walkie-talkies or call or phone call the other people, and tell them about the semis. Now, the reason why this is happening is, one, semis will probably have a lot of supplies in them. 2, okay. So 2, they can also be used to transport as many materials as possible in case of escape. 3, if Ochako uses her quirk on it, she can make it float. And Bakugo can still make it pull. So that means they don't even have to use the gas in the vehicle. But Ochako will probably be out of it. So in case of a quick escape, any emergency supplies can be carried off away. So everyone kind of left. Please stop. So After going around, Deku got phoned in that there were a few semis over there. Deku told them to check what's inside, and then report back. Aizawa told them one truck was full of bag chips, the other one was full of Coke products. The last one just had some, general items. Like some general items that you find at a gas station. Cigarettes, lighters, stuff like that. So, they decided to take all three. And okay. So Deku had them throw all the cigarettes because he didn't want them starting any unhealthy addictions. They looked at all the supplies they've gotten, and they also they got some vehicles. They broke into some vehicles, and pretty much they just loaded them all up with that, getting as many materials as they possibly could. Whenever they got back, there was a giant fence made around the base, where, this fence was not, it was made by putting, metal rods in the ground that Momo made, and Sero pretty much kind of put them all around in tape. And put tape all around them. So, now, they're all kind of resting for the day, finding that they've gotten a huge chunk of supplies. Enough to last them around 3 months. Deku thought this was good, but he checked the expiration dates for most of them. Well, he had everyone check the expiration dates for most of them. The packaged items, like Twinkies and everything, they had a much longer expiration date. They wouldn't expire for a long time. So Deku kind of let them splurge on the items that would disappear relatively quickly. So he let them eat the perishables, and if there was any meat or frozen item, and then Todoroki would use his fire and kind of heat them up for everyone, or use a microwave in the employee lounge to make it. So they were all eating. Deku made sure that none of them ate any perishables. Well, for the next few days, because these items would be important for long-term survival. He had them all load up all three of the semis, full of materials. And he said if they ever run out, take a few items from there, and then then we'd go into then we'd go look around for more materials inside the city, or a little bit on the outskirts of the city. He said, but under no circumstances are they to be completely emptied. This is their emergency food in case they have to leave, because they won't have time to pack. Okay, they won't have time to pack up any of their supplies. So it's good they have a few things in stock. Now, Aizawa, because was kind of half listening while trying to contact the trying to contact UA, he finally got a hold of Midnight. And Midnight just said that Cementos has set up a few walls around the area. And pretty much the main building was already taken over, like, pretty much immediately. But like the area where they did the area that's made to look like a city, yeah, no one was really in there at the time. So that was so that's currently the base. There's many walls set up, and they have recordings of President Mike just screaming, put everywhere, around the city, so that way the loud noise would attract the walkers away. Okie dokie. Oh, okay. Here. That's cool. Here you go. Now go run along. Be free. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Okay. Crazy. What could I do now? I got it. So they said their place is basically a safe haven right now. They have many citizens there, and they pretty much just said if they that they could come, but they are very, very low on supplies. And try and salvage what they can from around there, but they don't really have people. They don't have many people or heroes left, because they're more in the heart of the city, meaning there's going to be way more people with people with zombies with quirks. I forgot. There's gonna be a lot more people with the virus too. And he kind of asks if they have any information on this. Is it someone's quirk, or is it a virus, or what's going on? Midnight said that a few people have done some studies on it, and it's a virus. It has nothing to do with the quirk, so he will not be. So Eraserhead cannot just erase the thing. She said that there are a few characteristics of the virus. It pretty much eliminates all the body's restrictions. Everyone's body has a restriction on them that kind of stops them from hurting themselves. Like how if your brain didn't restrict your jaw could literally break itself. But the zombies seem to be unaffected by it. Like their jaw doesn't even break. Turns out their healing is phenomenal. They have no heartbeat, but they crave hunger. They have a hunger, they have a craving. And that needs to be satiated. They've just gone into they've pretty much gone into animalistic urges. There is no there's no sense of intelligence left. Occasionally those who have recently turned the last thing on their mind will be repeated, but only within the first 10 minutes of only within the first 10 minutes of changing. And it has caused a few people to die thinking there was another survivor nearby. Now, Deku and everyone else kind of listening to this thinks, wow. And, since the creatures aren't alive, but their regeneration is so high, they won't decay. Meaning, as long as they're alive, as long as their brain hasn't shut down, they will never go away. There's no way to get rid of them. If the whole entire body is completely incinerated, they will still be alive. The way it can be transmitted is from saliva, blood, and any bodily fluid. So they've also found out that the virus, not only that, but the virus moves at such a shut up, dogs! No. Shush. Can't believe that worked. So the virus spreads fast enough to where within a minute, it spreads throughout your own entire body. There are ways to slow down the infection, but if you do not amputate in the first 10 seconds, you can't even hesitate after getting bit. The virus spreads. The first symptoms that arise are increased heartbeat, feverish symptoms. You get a fever. Then all your organs start shutting down. Now, this virus acts incredibly fast, but it has shown signs of slowing down. So as long as they don't get nutrition for a while, the virus should slow down it should slow down the process of transformation. Because we'll have less food. It won't be able to evolve. And the virus will start kind of slowing down. Or because of all the blood and guts touching skin, people may start building up a slight immunity to it. Not a full immunity, but it should slow the effects of the thing. So everyone's kind of thinking that's good, but they really don't want to lose a limb. Midnight also said that the zombies have no self-preservation either. Also, they will group up. Everyone just thinks, well, that's great. Now, Deku told them, well, decided to give them a vote. One, go to the, we'll decide to give them a vote. One, stay where they are now, have plenty of food, water, for the next 3 months, but not have a strong shelter. Or go to UA and have plenty of shelter, like being able to sleep, no worries, being protected around the clock by heroes, and being able to be properly trained. But having less food, water. So, they're kind of conflicted. The promise of safety versus the promise of safety, or the promise of being able to eat well. This is kind of conflicting for most of them. So, Deku told them, meet back up in an hour, and we'll do a vote. So they all leave to go kind of think. Deku goes up to the roof, Uraraka and Ida decide to follow, because they've become pretty close friends. This is when, well, like an hour later, they all get into a group, and Deku says, those of you who want to go to UA, go to the left side of the room. Half the people went over there. If you're undecided, stay where you are. If you want to stay here, go to the right side of the room. Okie dokie. Now, I have no... So, Deku's kind of standing in the middle, and he decides to do a compromise. He says, those of you who want to leave, can leave. And we'll even help you get over there. Give you a few materials. Those of you who want to stay will stay. But whenever we'll all go there, see how the situation is, and then and if any of you change your mind, you can either stay or come with us again. Also, we should also trying to convince people who have good quirks, some very good skills. Now, the people that kind of want to stay is, well, Deku's kind of, since Deku's kind of in the group, he wants to stay. Aizawa voted on leaving. Todoroki voted on staying. Zero voted on staying. Choco voted on staying. Ida voted on staying. Jiro voted on staying. Bakugo also voted on staying. Everyone else voted on leaving. Actually, you know what? Kaminari also voted on staying. Everyone else voted on leaving. So, I guess... Okay, so Deku has a new idea for a means of escaping. Or like, yeah. There are these these pools that are, like, for children. Like, they're not, like, they're barely even that deep. And, like, they can hold two children in them. And that's it. Oh, okay, hey there, dog. And, like, if like a 2-year-old were to stand up into it, it would be like a quarter of their leg. So just think about that for a second. 2-year-old. Now, he got a few of those, and dollar stores do have them. He had Todoroki ice over all of them, and like how they were, just like how there was just like how in that one moment of My Hero Academia, there's like spoilers ahead. So skip around 20 or 30 seconds if you haven't watched season 4 yet. If you have, so skip ahead. So that I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to do that, actually. Okay. So in season 4, there was this moment where these kids used all their quirks, and Todoroki, like, used the items that were coming off of it, or anything, or everything, and he used it as a medium to use his ice to go on it. So, I think, yeah. Now, Deku, he has Todoroki freeze all of them, all of the poles together, and kind of like making a sheet of ice over it. He has Momo making a cold resistant blanket to go over it. Zero to make ice go all around it. And this thing is big enough to, like, have everyone float on it. So he has Ochako will use her quirk on it. And yes, she's been able to make things float while a whole bunch of people are on it. Well, she was able to do it with herself. But because of the sheer size of the item, and like, pretty much she got nauseated again. Like, she's pretty nauseated. But the thing is able to keep them up in the air. Now, he has he has Todoroki and Bakugo propelling them forward. So now they're gonna go check out the UA base. So they get into that city that they were going to, and they saw the situation of the current area, like of the city while they're going. And the city's only gotten worse. The fires are out. There is still that occasional fire. There's just infected everywhere, drawn to these speakers. There's just a horrible, loudness to it. Just incredibly loud, drawing infected from everywhere around. And they're kind of seeing the situation. Now, whenever they get to the UA base, they are, like, kind of surprised in how well fortified it is. Whenever they got down, and the people checked them for any bite marks, and, like, this place was very well fortified. After checking, no one had a bite mark. They are all sitting in the base. Now, I see this one skinny guy walking around, and he just has his face looks sunken in. His eyes are black, or like a black, and he looks very sickly. This is when Ashido says, "One of them got inside," and this is when he said, and All Might said, "No. I'm one of the teachers." And they all kind of calm down a little bit. Now, they're all looking at the situation, and pretty much Deku went to Nezu, and he asked. His group was thinking about coming here. Now, he asked Nezu that if he can persuade all of them to come, they'll bring lots of supplies. But if he convinces half of them to come, they won't get as much supplies. Like, depending on how many people he convinces to come, like, they'll give them more supplies. But Deku said, pretty much, he asked about all the families of the people that were there. Now, the people that survived, like, parents that survived, Momo's parents, Uraka's parents, Bakugo's parents, Endeavor is alive, and one of Todoroki's siblings, which kind of makes him a little mad. That Endeavor's there. But he's kind of happy. Todoroki's kind of happy that some of his family survived. Pretty much everyone's family survived. Or a chunk of their family died. At least the ones who had strong quirks. Now, everyone had a very tough conversation when they saw Hagakure's parents. And Deku asked if there was a Inko Midoriya. And as it said, he made a database marking everyone who came in and came out. And Inko Midoriya was not found. So Deku's kind of upset. And he pretty much tells them, tells Nezu that if everyone is alive, like he asks how many people are there, and he says around 100. If they join. Now, Deku says what are you doing, Ivory? Hold on. Okay. Okay, the false one. Okay. Now. Okay. High five. Woo, twirl.
What's that?
Okay, give me your other hand.
Tata.
Okay, one more time.
Tata.
Here you go.
You did that.
No, no more. I am not going to twirl you around. No. There you go. You fall. Okay. Now, he pretty much says, if everyone decides to go there, then he'll leave, and at least and all the rations that he'd get would be split among everyone else. Now that may not seem like a big difference, but having to feed one less person actually makes a way bigger difference than you think. Because you don't have to feed, you don't feed them for one day. You feed them for as long as they're with you. Meaning, I have to go get more food. And that food, or those supplies, could mean life or death. It may sound like an exaggeration, but no. If there were 10 people in your group and one left early, and you had to feed every one of them, the food and supplies for that one person could be used later, and you'd have an excess of food. After a while, you'd have enough, and that would mean everyone else would get to eat slightly better. So, Deku said that he would leave, since they have enough people. And he's pretty much useless. And and he said he's gonna take a small amount of supplies with him at first. Stop. Okay. So he's going to take a small amount of supplies with him, and then he's going to leave. If anyone wants to come with him, they can. And he kind of says this in front of the group. Now, Kirishima actually thinks that this is very manly. So he says he'll stick with Midoriya. Jiro says, well, she'll go too. Ochako does. Noel does too. And so does Ida. Todoroki and Sero decide to come along too, because, and Momo, pretty much just the people that were mainly useful. With everyone else going along, Kaminari decided as well. And then Deku kind of asked one final question. How much food and stuff do you even have? This is when they said from all the stuff they salvaged, they have enough food. And they have enough growing area to sustain themselves for an entire year, even if they join too. But they will be put to work growing and getting supplies. Deku, after hearing this, was like, nope, you all are staying here now. And he says he's gonna go and try and find supplies on his own. This is when they hear an alarm sound, and Cementos pretty much just tells them that some of the infected have broken through the walls. All Might immediately buffs up in front of everyone, not even caring, and then it gets a bat. Everyone's kind of really surprised, like, that was All Might? And, well, like, he immediately goes after, like, attacking all the infected. And Cemento is trying to rebuild the wall, but these infected, they've mutated. Their quirks are able to activate. Well, not how they were before. Some quirks that were not like physical enhancers were not as effective and would activate seemingly random. The people that had physically boosting quirks, their quirk was boosted, and they were always on. This is when one bit into All Might. Everyone was kind of afraid of what was going to happen. So he had a Choco, and Zero start taping and making everyone float up. But All Might had already turned, staying in his buff form. And pretty much waves upon waves of them were coming in. It's like, speakers that were made to draw them away all turned off. Nezu, while trying to pack up as many supplies as possible, said that someone stole them all. And pretty much, Deku said it was an inside job. And he had Ochako start floating many people away as possible, and Zero taping up as many. It was a few from Class B, all Class 1A that were around, a few teachers, everyone. But All Might had just turned, and some of the heroes that were trying to hold them off, they were getting turned too, causing them. It was just a massacre. The person who'd stolen all their supplies and pretty much done everything had just doomed them all. Some of the students watched as some of the people they knew and cared about were dying right in front of them. This is very dark. I'm a horrible person. Now, Deku saw All Might about to bite Ochako. And Ochako was actually started to like Deku. Deku still had like that same reaction he did in the first day, so he's already liked Ochako. And everyone just kind of looks in horror as Deku gets bit. And he just takes off a chunk of his flesh. Now, All Might had only been ripping people apart. He hasn't really even bit people yet, because all the other zombies have gotten to people first. After biting him, All Might has seemingly, his size kind of decreased. Now, the change in this, one for all, and the virus has started mutating together. Well, all the quirks have really been doing this. So, the mutation of the virus was affected by all the quirks. Since one for all is a boosting quirk, it's pushing. Hold on. Okay, my sister decided to let the dogs in, even though she wasn't supposed to, so I had to help with that. Good doggy. Okay, so this time, the virus, since it was a physically boosting quirk, One for All has basically doubled in strength. Well, also the virus is kind of mutating further as well. Pretty much to the point where since this, All Might was already infected. Got infected. So the quirk, while it was kind of combining with it, since he was already infected, the virus hadn't mutated, hadn't properly changed yet. Meaning a new form of the virus had pretty much been created, making a new one. But this one left another person sentient. At least to a degree. This it left them with the ability of speech, and kept them with their memories, their personality. But if they had an intense moment of rage, then they would go back to the feral state, at least for a while. Or for something else. Now, the virus, this new one, was kind of taking its time. So while Deku was kind of sitting there bleeding, he told them all to go, and he got a knife from his pocket that Momo had given him before, and cut the thing. He got up while still being bloody, and having a chunk of his flesh torn out. His face. Like a chunk of his face torn off. He just smiled, and at everyone before they all left. And he went in on to try and hold them all off as long as possible. And they all kind of floated away, seeing Deku start to fall. Seeing him just in a broken state. Now, 3 days passed. And Deku wakes up, wondering kind of what happened, like if it was all a dream. And he sees a lot of the infected around him. And he's kind of worried. He gets up and he sees his reflection in the glass of a building nearby. Well, he's right next to. He sees his eyes glowing red. His hair is white like the infected. He's pale, but he doesn't have that grayish color. His tattered clothes showed that he'd gained muscle mass, though he doesn't know how. Like, pretty much after the training. In this agitated state, he accidentally activates One for All, and red and black lightning kind of go around him. He's kind of freaking out. And this is where I'm going to leave this video off for now. Until next time, goodbye!